On this, IEC's Deputy Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Masego Shiburu, responsible for election operations, joins us now from Pretoria. Sir, thank you so much for your time. It seems there are calls that you are aware of to have the election postponed. What does the Constitution say about this?
Good morning. We've had discussions with political parties that are represented in the National Party Liaison Committee, and a number of submissions have been made for the postponement of local government elections. As an election management body, we are required by the law to be ready to deliver an election within 90 days of the end of term, and as we understand it, there are no lawful provisions to enable an election to be held beyond the 1st of November this year. For that reason, we assist with preparations for this election on the basis of the law as it stands. We understand that to facilitate an election beyond the 1st of November would require a constitutional amendment, which amendment must enjoy the supermajority of the House because it also implicates one of the founding principles in the Constitution, i.e. the right for citizens to regular, free and fair elections.
Mr. Shiburu, it seems, some of the concerns which I'm certain you are aware of from the likes of the EFF's Hlengwe Mkhalipi, for example, the questions around the credibility of the elections. Other concerns include the fact that we are still in a pandemic. COVID-19 is still almost disrupting, normal programming. How do you plan to facilitate these free and fair elections?
Even with the pandemic, there is no lawful mechanism to say we abdicate our responsibility to prepare for the election. We are preparing for the election. We are putting in place, in consultation with political parties, measures that would stop election event from being super spreader event. As it is, we have had occasion to test our public health measures in bigger by-elections last year. We also have two other by-elections in April and in May, at which we will further refine our public health processes so that elections can take place in conditions of relative safety. Secondly, there has been an easing of the regulations around the alert levels, and those regulations allow for freer movement of persons. They also allow for political events and activities, albeit with some restriction. In the circumstances, the view of the Electoral Commission is that balancing the right of people to choose freely their public representatives and the public health of the citizens, it is possible in the circumstances around alert level 1 to hold by elections that could be classified to be free and fair.
Right. I mean, also just in terms of, your previous point around the 90-day period with which, the elections need to be held, I understand, if my research is correct, has to be between the 4th of August as well as the 1st of November. Has a definite date been set aside yet and confirmed yet?
Indeed, your research is correct. The elections fall due between the 4th of August and no later than the 1st of November. The Commission has held a number of consultations with the Minister responsible for cooperative governance and traditional affairs, because she is the legal authority vested with the prerogative to set and call a date for this election. While consultations have begun, the date has not been announced by the Minister yet. We hope that in the near future a date will be made known so that it could signal to all political contestants that elections preparations have commenced in earnest.
All right. The IEC, Mr. Masego Shiburu, thank you so much for your time this